everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky. Finally back today with the Zodiac series. Yes, I know, apologies, it has taken a while. It's hard for me to sometimes focus on things, and I'll explain it quickly. I basically am an Aries with a buttload of Gemini and Sagittarius. So you do the math. Basically, I'm like pew, 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 pew. And so I get pulled in all directions. But I am back and I am focused and I am going to beat this whole Aries thing and I am going to finish this series. So the next one up is Scorpio. Yes, the 8th sign of the Zodiac. Oh, Scorpio. So I'm just going to start by saying, Scorpio, this is the last of the misunderstood signs. Yes, there are the honorable mentions, and we still have one of those coming up, but this is one of the main, and that is, yes, that is Scorpio. And if you read online and you go, like to YouTube and look up things for Scorpio, you will see a lot of negativity, which I just don't like. I don't like the negativity. Every sign, I look at it this way, every sign has a lesson that they're supposed to learn in this lifetime. And so we all have positives and things that we can work on. And Scorpio is no exception, and people are jerks to them, and there is no reason to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this look. It's going to be a little bit more dramatic, head in that way, and explain where Scorpio is coming from a little bit. So here we go. All right, so a little bit out of practice, but we're going to jump right into this. So what I'm going to do is go in with Aquarius's color. You know, Aquarius is always fun for a good time here. So I'm going to go in with that and just put it into the crease because we just want this to kind of be warmed up a little. And there we go. Just add a little color. So again, I'm going to go for a more dramatic look with this only because this is Scorpio, and Scorpio is not the type to go in for nice delicate looks that we would have for, like, Virgo or Virgo or Cancer or somebody like that. No, this is Scorpio, and Scorpio is a water sign. Yes. Now, water signs are usually seen as kind of being docile and, a little bit, sometimes being seen as introverted, and Scorpio is this, but what I will say is that Scorpio is not very docile. Most of the water signs tend to do the whole, when they get upset, they'll kind of go into themselves. And Scorpio will do the same, but they will be remembering everything. Here's the thing with Scorpio. They remember everything, and they will they won't necessarily remind you of it, but they will keep it in the back of their head. And if you break their trust, you most likely are not going to gain that again. So be careful with that. Other signs will go, hey, it's just a mistake. I mean, no big deal. Scorpio's not going to do that. So out of the water signs, they tend to be a little bit more of the assertive ones rather than, Cancer or Pisces, which are a little bit more docile. That is not Scorpio's nature. All right, so we are kind of going on the fly here. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of Pisces, which, yes, this is a bold look, and I am just winging it. I haven't even really, I kind of know where I want to go with this, but we'll see how it ends up going. But because Scorpio, here's the thing. It's interesting because when people, like I said, people tend to think docile with the water signs, but in a lot of ways, Scorpio is very much like Aries in a lot of ways, in the way, not necessarily the way that they deal with things, because Aries is one of those signs who's very much like, okay, you screwed me over, let it go, unless you really screw them over. Then you're dead to them. But Aries tends to be a little bit more trusting, while Scorpio's never really trusting. They tend to have a very small circle of friends. And again, these tend to be introverted people. Sometimes they will act like they're more extrovert. They're interesting because they'll act very extroverted sometimes, but the reality is these are very introverted people. They have a small group of people that they usually hang around with, and they like to keep it that way. They're not really big social butterflies like, say, Gemini or Leo, who just, wants to have a good time. Scorpio tends to fare better with smaller groups of people that they know and trust. That's just how they are. They don't let people in that easily. So once they let you in, you know that it's real. They really want your friendship and they value your friendship. It doesn't mean that they won't have acquaintances. Like if you work with some or you have an acquaintance that's a Scorpio, and before I go on with that thought, I'm actually going to go in with the mix of Aquarius and Sagittarius just to go above. I'm hoping this works. Okay, I like it. Wish it was a little bit lighter, but we'll go in with Sagittarius. So it's not that they don't have acquaintances. They most definitely do, but they'll always kind of keep you at an arm's length because they're very secretive people. Very secretive. So they'll keep you at arm's length. So don't be insulted. It's just the way they are. They're slowly testing you out, and eventually they'll make a decision one way or the other. So it's just going to take some time. So you're not going to get into their good graces easily. Now, this is especially true in relationships. The thing with Scorpio is they like to merge with people. And that sounds really extreme, but to be honest with you, Scorpio tends to be very extreme. Going in with Pisces here. Scorpio tends to be an extremely, they're an extreme sign. That's just, they don't really half-ass anything. It tends to be very hot and cold. So, but then I'm kind of contradicting myself, but it's like when they're getting to know you, I guess it is kind of, they're not sure. And so they will take their time until they make a decision, and they're waiting for you to make that one false move or to make them realize that this person's really, really freaking cool. So it's just going to take them a while. And as far as relationships go, it's even going to take longer. These are people who want to merge, and what that means is that these are the people who, you'll hear about these people who are married for life, and then they never marry again. That's Scorpio. It's like it was this person. Even if they do move on, they'll always remember the first love fondly, and it'll always be the person that kind of got away. And so they'll take it very, they'll still remember it, not always so fondly. They fall in love deeply. And when they do, be prepared. Some people will say things about Scorpio being like really like stalkish and scary, and I don't like that. There's so much bad information about Scorpio out there. No, they're extremely passionate people, one of the most passionate signs of the zodiac. So when they love full force. Okay, so this is where it gets really dramatic. So I'm going to take this color and then put it on the lid because we are prepping. Now we're not going for a gentle look. We are prepping for what could be really cool or really whoa. So Scorpio would go into it full force if they believed in it, and so I'm going to do that. So here we go. So I'm going to go in with this color, and then, oops, I had a little wipey there, that's what I'm doing there. Then I'm going to go in with Sagittarius. Now this is the perfect color for Scorpio. They want these kind of muted earth signs here for Scorpio. No! Scorpio basically is represented by different astrologers or sites will tell you various things. When I think of Scorpio, I tend to think of like a maroon red, or I will think of like a dark green or a black. These aren't pastel color kind of guys. It's like, nah, pastels can suck it. That's what Scorpio would say. So now we're going to go into Sagittarius, which this color would work for Sag too, and then go ahead and start putting it onto the eye here. Yeah, getting fun. So, like I was saying, when Scorpio loves you, Scorpio will love you for life, and they're not going to let go of that love easily, but once they're hurt, ooh. And this is where a lot of the conflict comes in, I think, with Scorpio, is that so many people go off about, there's just so much misinformation about Scorpio. Well, Scorpio very much, they love deeply. They're extremely passionate. They love deeply. And so they don't let go of it that easily. You know, they don't love easily. And so they're very hurt. And I don't think people realize how they're very good at hiding their hurt. And so and I'm going back in with this and putting it in the corner and mixing these together kind of. So when they, you know, they choose, like I said, their inner circle very carefully. And then when they get hurt, they get wounded because they love and care for people deeply. And people, I don't think, really realize that. They tend to hide emotion because they see emotion in a lot of ways as weak, or they don't want people to see them as weak. And the reality, everybody has these emotions, but Scorpio is like, no, you know, I don't want to show this because this puts me in a very vulnerable spot. And they've been hurt before because they care. So like a younger age, you know, they'll have somebody who really, really hurts them, and it kind of like sticks with them for life, and it makes them cautious from there on out. So that's where a lot of the misinformation comes with Scorpio, I think, is that people don't realize how deep their emotions run. Okay, so this is where it could get scary yet again. I'm going to go in with Aries, which is black. Aries would never be black. Whatever. So now I don't normally mess with stuff like this, but I'm going to. I'm going to put it in the inner corner. I never use black. I never really do darker, bold looks like this. This is either going to be fun or a total disaster. Whew, that is pigmented. So yes. So Scorpio. Scorpio is known as the great detective of the zodiac. Yes. So if you ever, you know what Scorpio would be good at? Being a private investigator or working for the CIA or something fantastic like that, because they are no joke. If you want to find out information on someone, Scorpio has it. They really, like I said, they go 0 to 60. They're either not interested or they're really interested. And so Scorpio, if they're interested in something, they're going to find all the information, especially with people. They will do the same thing with people. And this could be a really good thing or a really, you know, scary thing. If you get on Scorpio's bad side, here's the thing with Scorpio. Scorpio is, you know, they will hold a grudge. And if you really mess with them, they're most, out of all the signs, they're most likely to go and get revenge if need be. And that doesn't mean something horrible or whatever, but, you know, it can be if it goes, it depends how badly you screwed them over. If it was really bad, you better run because, you know, you don't want to mess with the Scorpio. You really don't. And they'll have all the dirt on you, and they have all the dirt on everyone. That's just kind of who they are. You know, they know everything about everyone. Here's the thing with Scorpio. They're the strong, silent type. While everybody else is yapping away, Scorpio is listening to everything that everyone is saying, and they are filing it away in their little database, and they remember everything. So, you know, and the thing is, they won't tell you much about themselves, ever. So you don't know. You have no idea what Scorpio's doing. Okay, so what I did was took a little bit more of the Pisces, or took some Pisces and tried to fix it in the corner. It needs some cleanup and a little bit better blending, which I'm going to do off camera. I just add a little bit in there. The thing with the black is it is no joke. So it's very powdery, and actually I had to wash my hands because it stained it. And what's happening is you put it on the eye and it just sticks there. So, whoo! So I have to do a little bit of blending. So go in this lightly. I just went for it. I didn't even go lightly into it at all, because Scorpio wouldn't. I'm sorry, Scorpio could be cautious in some ways, but when they believe in something, they go for it, and so did I. And it did not work out the way I expected. So what I'm going to do is go in with Libra, which is this kind of charcoal black, which really doesn't work for Libra whatsoever, and just lightly go under the eyes, because, you know, why not? Just lightly pad this on in the corner and try not to make more of a mess than I already have. But yes, So, Scorpio in some ways when it comes to the heart can be cautious, but man, when they want something, they go for it. And here's the thing, somebody like a fire sign may go for it for a time, but then afterwards they're going to go, you know what? They may get bored and drop off. And that's definitely not who Scorpio is. If, these are people who, okay, Scorpio is extremely smart. They are really, really smart cookies. And when they want something, they will work really hard, and let me tell you, they are going to get it. So don't you doubt it. They are very determined people in whatever they choose to be determined with. So now what I'm going to do, and I am going to fix this, is I'm going to take Libra here, which is this kind of maroon I was talking about that Scorpio likes, and I'm going to mix these two colors together because this maroon just works really well for Scorpio. And then we're going to do some cleanup. So just make sure that you really blend this stuff in well and hopefully do a better job than me because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So yes, very determined people. Scorpio, I've known a few, and they really are some of the most determined people that I've ever met. And like all of them had a plan of what they were going to do, and they did it. They didn't care how they had to do it, and they didn't do anything bad, like towards people or anything. It was more of, you couldn't tell them no, because they don't believe in no. You tell them no, they're going to figure out a way to do it, and they are going to do it with style. And that's definitely who they are. They're really quite amazing people. Once they find it, it may take a while for them to find what they want to do, but once they do, watch out because you are not going to be able to stop them. And that's that. So they just really are a force to be reckoned with when they know what they want in life. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is go in with a little bit of the white in the center, and I'm just going to put that here in the eye because I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit. Now you can see it definitely needs to be blended a little bit more and cleaned up because these are really powdery shadows, and I don't think, because I've never used the black or the green, that's just not my style. Yeah, I was not ready for the power that are those colors in this palette, much like Scorpio. Are you ready for their power? Because they're one of the most powerful signs in the zodiac. I don't know, because I sure wasn't. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead, and now that I've brightened this up, I'm going to clean it up a little bit, blend it out a little bit, and that we are going to finish up this crazy dramatic look. All right, we are into the home stretch. Yes. So you will see I have added the eyeliner. Go dramatic with it. Just go for it. Go for it. Go ahead, do the wing liner. You do it, because that's what's going to make this look happen. And then you can go ahead and put on false eyelashes. I have some, but I don't wear them too often. I don't even know where the glue is. I'm just not a false eyelash kind of gal. So use dramatic mascara or go all the way with those fake lashes. You do it, because this is not a docile look. And then I decided I didn't want any white really showing, so I ended up using black. So when you have all those subscription boxes and they keep sending you those black eyeliners, you finally get to use it. Use it on the inside of the rim of your eye and call it a day. Finally, we can use it. So I don't use this too often, but I did this time, and I think it really worked for this look. So yeah, so you go for it. The bolder, the better, because that's how Scorpio would do it, okay? They don't want people going, maybe this or that. No. So that's where we're at. So to do the rest of the look, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take Sweetie Pie here. And you can go with something darker for yourself if you have, a deeper complexion than I do. But this is what I want for this. This is good enough for me. We're just adding some dimension here. You don't want something too rosy and sweet. So this is very much, what I like about Sweetie Pie is it's kind of a bronze blush look. So get in there and make sure you get it done. All right, now I do not have a green highlighter. It's just not something that I have. So I'm going to mix blue and yellow together and hope for the best here. This is the Aurora palette. So let's see what this will do, because I don't want too much, as you know, because maybe I didn't say this, but Scorpio is, which I think we all know, the icon or the glyph that it uses, not the glyph, the what is represented by is the scorpion. So the scorpion's just minding its own business, doing what it does, and then some idiot messes with it, and then it finishes the deal. That's pretty much what you're dealing with when you're dealing with Scorpio. It is the perfect way to represent the sign. It's like, just leave me alone and we'll both come out of it just fine. Why'd you have to mess with me? So that's pretty much why Scorpio is represented by that. It's pretty docile, looks intimidating. It's docile until you mess with it, and then it's going to mess with you. So, you know, again, don't be afraid to get in there and make a dramatic, bold look. Get in there, put that highlighter in there. I did. In fact, I'm going to smooth it out a little bit because I really went for it, but I think that it works well for this look. And then go ahead and highlight wherever you like to. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So some people may want to keep that light look. For me, not enough. So take some kind of vampy, like crimson or burgundy color to really make this pop. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, because the lighter lipstick's really great. But for Scorpio, they are all in when they're all in. So I am going to go in there and do this. All right. Yes. So this is the final look. I am happy with it. Yes, I went for the dramatic lips. I just say go big or go home. That's what Scorpio would say. If you really want it, go for it. Get it done. And so I did. So yes, this is the look for Scorpio. I told you it was not going to be docile. Scorpio is not a docile sign. So, as I've said many times, so this is what represents them to me. It just really is. They're kind of brooding and quiet on the outside, but man, they make an impact. And for me, I can always spot a Scorpio. It's funny because I've worked in the past with a few, and one of them, I got to know her really well. You know, it takes a while to get to know her, and once I did, love her, still friends with her. And I remember looking at her and I said, "Are you a Scorpio?" And she goes, "Oh, hell yeah." So, classic answer. And she really, you know what it was? It's the eyes. The eyes always give them away. They have this intense stare to them. And so that's how you can see Scorpio. It's that intense, like almost like they can see into your soul. That's Scorpio. So she had that. It was very piercing. And so I guess like immediately I'm like, "You're a Scorpio." And damn skippy she was. They usually are. I can always spot them a mile away from that intensity. And that's the thing with Scorpio. They're extremely intense people. They're extremely passionate people. As I said before, supposedly some of the most passionate lovers in the zodiac. So, yeah, so if you can get some of that and you're into it, there you go. They really want to find a partner to merge with because it's almost like a spiritual thing with them. It really is. But wow, these people are extremely intense. And the other thing is, and I think this is another reason why people sometimes speak negatively about Scorpio, is they do tend to sometimes venture on the dark side a little bit. And I don't mean that in an evil way. It's just they know that human nature can sometimes have a very dark side to it, and that there are not very nice things out there in the universe. And so sometimes they'll be drawn to that out of that curiosity. Not that they are going to do it themselves. It's more of just sometimes they can be really moody, and so they'll sometimes focus on those darker aspects sometimes. But these are people who are more likely to maybe be interested in the in the occult, or more interested in things that society may say no about. And again, I do want to say not in a criminal, horrible way or anything like that, they're on the deep web doing horrible things. No. Hey, that's not what I mean by that. So I do just want to clarify, because I think that's one of the reasons why Scorpio gets this bad rap all the time, is because people take the things that some may see as negative and blow them up, which is ridiculous. But these people, wow, they are just exquisite. They're just passionate. And if you do not want to know something, do not ask a Scorpio. It's much like an Aries in that you do not go, can I get your opinion? You can ask their opinion, but make sure that you're ready for the answer, because they're not going to sugarcoat it like some people will. Go, well, no. They're going to flat out tell you. And the difference is Aries will tell you something, but they don't mean to be, they're very honest, but they tend to be very childlike and are like, oh, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, or, they'll say it bluntly, but if they hurt somebody, they'll feel badly. No, Scorpio's going to say, you know what? You asked me, I told you, why are you whining about it? I told you. I flat out asked, you asked me, and I said, are you ready for this? And Aries will feel badly because they're a little bit more childlike, and Scorpio's further on the other side of the zodiac at the end of the wheel, and they're not having it. It's just like, you're an adult, I'm an adult, you asked, here it is. So be prepared. Don't ask them unless you're ready to know. And they will flat out tell you. And the thing is, they're really good at assessing a situation and seeing it for fully what it is and being able to relay to you, what you need to work on, So there it is. Yes. So that is Scorpio. My misunderstood Scorpios. I hope I did this look justice, and I hope you enjoyed the fun facts, and I let people realize what a wonderful, special sign you are, because you really are. You love deeply. You really do. And sometimes people don't understand how easily you get hurt, but it's easy to put on a facade to cover it and act tough, when the reality is these people are extremely fragile, and they just find this tough exterior to cover it. They really are some of the most loyal, loving people on the planet. And if you find one that calls you a friend, or you're in a relationship with, you are going to be so lucky, because they're going to be so loyal to you. Just make sure you're loyal to them, and they will stay with you to the end. Yes, love you, Scorpios. So moving on to the next sign, we are moving into the last fire sign of the zodiac. Yes, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, last one. Aries is the baby, Leo is middling, and Sagittarius is still wild and fiery, but a little bit more mature with it than, say, Aries. So I really love Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I don't think anyone hates Sagittarius. How can you hate Sagittarius? You can't. And I'm going to tell you why in the next video. Hope to get that up sooner than this one. But until next time, my lovelies, have a wonderful day. Bye.